today, as per our schedule, is we will be creating a e-commerce application. Not every feature of an e-commerce application, but the main features like browsing and searching products, then adding them to the cart, and then purchasing them from the cart or single product. So let me set up few things first, then I will start. So the first thing we have is we need to have a home screen. We will have first of all bottom navigation, then we will have home screen, search. So this is a very long project, so we will be covering this in two sessions, in today's session and then in tomorrow's session. So let us see how much we can achieve in today's class. So I was trying to find some designs on Dribble website. This is a website where we can find example designs for any like mobile application or website or anything. I will paste this link as well in the in our group. So I was thinking of using this design. Let us start a project first and set up the project. Then I will continue with designing the application. So I'm simply giving the Flutter create command, the application name, and then the organization name. This is taking some time. Okay, so now my project is created. I will just open my application, this project in my VS Code. For that, we can open the VS Code first and then open the folder, this folder. But we have a shortcut over here. Like we can write code and then the path of that project. So we are already in this folder. Inside that we have e-commerce. So I will just write e-commerce app. It will open my VS Code with this project. So we have the blank application over here. I will open the previous quiz application first and then I will continue from there. I will copy just the boilerplate and then we'll start. For now, I'm copying everything inside this lib and then I will remove whatever we don't need. Also, someone asked for the boilerplate code once. So I will also add that uh, in the repo as a separate branch. Okay, one thing to note whenever we copy anything from another project to this one project to another project, we will see errors in all those files. The reason is if we are copying anything, we need to keep in mind two things. The first is we don't have the packages installed maybe, and the second thing is we may the name of the package like this project, whatever project we are working on. Let me open some this kind of file. Yeah. So whatever project we have created that has a package name, like the previous one we had was quiz app. The current one which I created is e-commerce underscore app. So this package name we need to change everywhere. So for that I will just do global search and replace over here from the left panel. I will just write quiz app and I will replace that with the current package name of my project, which is e-commerce app. I remember this, but if someone doesn't remember this, we can also check it from here. This pubspec.yaml file, we can see the name here. This is nothing but the package name I'm telling what we need to provide here. So the one step is done. The second step is we need to have the packages, those packages which we didn't added. I will again go back to the quiz app and we'll see the dependencies over here. Just to save the time, I will copy those as well. Okay, so I will copy the dev dependencies and the dependencies above this, both of this. And I will just replace it here in the PubSpec YAML. I'm removing the comments from here, unnecessary comments. Okay. I'm also creating an assets folder. If I will save any, I need to keep any like image or icon, anything, any asset. I just created assets folder in the root and I gave the path of it here. So now the pub get automatically runs many times, like almost every time. But uh, if it doesn't, we can just manually do it from this button over here, download button, get packages, or we can also write in the command flutter pub get. Okay, so let us see. Let us remove whatever we don't need. For this one, we won't be using local storage. We'll be either using the Firebase or the REST APIs. So that will be in the next session, tomorrow's session. So for today, mostly it will be without any external data storage. So let us remove the unnecessary things from here, like queries.dart we don't need. This I'm not removing these files from here. We will just change those designs over here because we will need the bottom nav screen same as we had. Then we have this account screen, which is all. I don't think there is not much thing. Only a button here, insert sample data. So I will just remove this from here. This button. For now, I'm just adding a text over here that this is an account. Then um, yeah, then we need to make the changes in this app router. So let us write some text files first. I'm creating a text file over here first so that we have the clarity what we'll be doing. I'm just creating a docs folder over here and requirements.txt. It's not a like necessity. It's just I'm making just writing it down. So first of all, we need to have routes. So routes, we need to have the first thing is we already have the bottom nav route inside which we have home route and the account route. The next route we need is products route, products or products listing route to be specific. Then we need to have product route, which is for a single product. So because for every screen we mostly create a route. So this is for the product listing screen, and then this is for the product screen. Then we have cart route. Then we will have checkout route. Mm. Then we will have order history route. Am I missing anything? Yeah, we can also have this like products route, so that uh, like products or the wish list. Okay, we can also have this notifications route, and yeah, nothing else. I think notifications. Okay. So instead of products listing route, I will just name it as explore route or search route, because to match it with the design, if you see here, it is written as explore. So that just to make it similar, I will just rename this to be explore route. So first of all, this is already created. I will create all rest of the routes first. So let's go to app router dot dart, and here one thing, if you have noticed in the repo, if anyone have seen, there's one class which is commented over here, and also one line is commented over here. So just to not have the error, I commented this, but in Go Router, like in whatever website or application, if we have navigated, try to navigate to some screen which is not present, like if I go to like facebook.com, and there's I type randomly anything after the slash facebook.com slash any random characters, and that page doesn't like they don't have that kind of route, so they show us a 404 not found screen. Similarly, we are also following the URL based routing. So if by chance we using the code, or like we have some kind of dynamic routing, so that user can go to a specific like any dynamic route, then we can have a scenario where the user is trying to access a page that we don't have. So we can, for that case, we can have a not found screen, or uh, yeah, not found screen or error screen, any kind of anything. So for that, we have here in the Go Router object, we have error builder over here. So error builder, from error builder, we need to pass the what if some error happens. We can also get from the state here that what's the error, but most cases we don't need to check what is the state. For every error cases, we just show a simple same error screen. So for that, I'm passing a not found screen. I can also name it as error screen, but it doesn't matter. This is returning a common error page for now, because it was my custom made widget and I copied this somewhere else. So I will just return over here a scaffold, and in the body I will pass center, and inside the child I will pass a text widget, and I will say this thing. 404 not found. Then we can also say this, you are looking for something which doesn't exist. So I will wrap this text with a column, and below this also I will place a text widget. And then I want to have a button. So I will add a sized box for some gap, like suppose for 100 pixels, and then material button. I need to remove the const from here. And then I'm just telling like giving in the onPress tag context.conamed route name.home. There's two ways to route. The first thing which I showed and we mainly used at is getting the access to the route class first, and then calling the push extension from that, like this push extension or function, whatever we say. So this is one way, and this is another way. Context dot go named, or instead of go named, we also have push, whatever we are using there. we can use that after context.push, and the route name. This is what we define here. This one, route name. We can we can use uh, the route path also here. Like instead of passing the sorry, yeah, this should be route path. We can't use route name here. Although it is similar for our case, both route path.home and route name.home both are same, the value. But if that is different, we should use the route path because it contains the slash kind of thing, and route name doesn't contain the slashes. So we will prefer this one. So I am removing the below one, and in the text of button text, I will say this go to home page. Child text go to home page. So this is my not found screen. I will also show like if we try to access some which is some route which is not defined, then it will show this one. Also, let me remove this unnecessary screens which I copied from there. We don't need all this. I will also remove the route classes from here. Let me run the command again. Maybe there's some issue because if we do any change in the this kind of files where we are having this part file to generate a file, another file, example for this routing or for the river pod, we need to, if we change anything in this file, we need to run this command so that the correct file is generated according to the changes. So we'll just run dart run build runner build. Okay, if this kind of options come after running this command, like delete these files or cancel build or list conflicts. So it's just we need to enter one because we want to build, we don't want to cancel, and list conflicts will won't do anything. It will just show what are the conflicts, what we are trying to change, like a git conflict. Okay. Still, there are four problems over here. If we can, if we see over here this section, if this is not open, we can also click on this one and we can navigate on all the things. The first, we use the terminal debug console most of the times. We also have a problems tab over here where we can see the errors, if any errors or warnings are there. So let me clean this home screen and we'll create a plain home screen like without anything. Just cleared everything and we'll create a home screen. I'm adding a app just to know that it's a home screen when we run the code. Okay. So now there are no errors. There are warnings, but let's ignore those for now. Now I will try to run this application first. Okay, there's an error in running. It didn't run. So it says if this anything error comes while running, so we should just search for that error. Uh, this most of the common errors I know, so I will just increase the I need to increase the iOS minimum iOS version for this because we are running for in the simulator. It won't this error won't come in the while running in the Android, but there's a separate like same kind of error which can occur for Android as well. So I will show this one. If it happens for the iOS, even if this is not there in our course, but still I'm telling it's just one line we need to change. This remains this is commented from starting. We just need to uncomment this one and need to mention whatever minimum target it is saying to change because of the dependencies. It is due to the dependencies. Suppose my application can target iOS version 12, but the dependency which I'm using needs to have minimum iOS 13 for some restrictions for some OS related things. So we need to change it over here in the pod file, which is inside the iOS folder. We have the iOS folder and Android folder separately over here above the link. So inside the iOS folder, we have this pod file. So there we need to change this one, the number, and also uncomment this. This same thing can happen for the Android. So for that, we need to go to the Android folder and build.gradle. Sorry, not this one. We have two build.gradle in Android folder. The first one is directly inside the Android folder, and the second file build.gradle is inside the app folder. In Android, we have app folder, and inside that we have build.gradle, where most of the times we will need to use this build.gradle, not that one. So here we have the min SDK version. Uh, yeah, this one, min SDK. So if there's some issue, it says that it will say here itself, as it said for the iOS, it will say you need to increase the min SDK version in your build.gradle. So if that kind of error comes, we just need to change it whatever minimum version it's saying to. Mostly it will ask to change it to 26. So right now we don't have any issue, so I will just continue. Till it's running, I will just add the code for this routes. I'm doing it inside the comments because if it detects the error, then it will stop running. Okay, it's already running. So let's let us go to the splash screen and change the text from quiz app to e-commerce app. I will restart to confirm. Yeah, please go. We have in the application we can have many kinds of animation. Like Flutter is popular for having easy UI building and having animations. So for that we have a simple package over here. I will go to pub.dev. I will search for Flutter animate. this one. And this is a library which is Flutter favorite. We can also while choosing some packages, we can also prefer which has this Flutter favorite thing. So I will just copy this one and add it over Foxtrack. And then we can use the animation like this. Let me show there are many kinds of animations, and it just makes it is not required to have this package for animation. We can have that without this also, because Flutter natively provides the animations, but this makes our work easier. Like we can just have this kind of extensions. We don't need to write all the code for animation. Like if we try to create animation without this package or without any package, we need to create a animation controller and then manually write all the codes for that. So here it just makes the writing the code easier, nothing else. So we can also wrap a widget, any widget, inside an animate widget, like this animate widget, and then pass the list of effects like fade effect or scale effect, like that, and inside that we can pass the parameters over here. Uh, but we have one more very easier way here, like dot and then passing extensions. This is kind of passing the extensions. Like in the text widget, I'm passing animate uh, extension, then fade, then scale, like that. So here there is a example for delay, duration, and curve here. Like animate, then fade. Like this is just to mention that we want to animate this widget, and then we can use other extensions like fade, scale, like this. So let me show for this one. After the text widget, I will just mention animate. There is a const. I need to remove this, and I need to import this Flutter animate library. After this, I will just use scale, and there are these many parameters over here. I will pass the begin and end, and maybe the duration also. So begin and end will take like offsets. So offset is like what the position thing which I explained while explaining the stack, that we have the coordinate system like this. This is the positive x and this is the positive y. From like this is 0 0, and if you go right from here it is positive x and this is positive y. So the same thing applies anywhere in the Flutter code. Everywhere we follow the same thing. So offset we will provide 0 0, or let me try, and end offset I will provide 1 comma 1. So let's see how this makes the animation, then we can change the values accordingly. Okay, so it is expanding from very little to the exact value. 1 1 means whatever the size is by default. If I comment this one, first of all let me increase the time here. Instead of 3 I'm doing it 10, so that we can see. So the whatever size we are seeing, if we comment this one, this will be the same size. This is the same size because offset 1 1 means the same size, and the 0 0 means like nothing. So if we add a delay over here, it's very quick right now. So I will add a delay of here. I need to pass the duration, and inside that I will pass seconds. Sorry, not delay. I need to provide the duration so that it takes some time. Suppose 2 seconds. While we are using the duration, like Flutter animate package, we also have shortcut for writing durations. We can simply write like this also, the any integer and then this seconds or milliseconds, microseconds, hours, whatever. We have the extension for this. It is taking 2 seconds to animate from 0 0. So I think 0 0 is very less value. Let's try with 0.5, and this means x and y values. The duration is I just made it 2 seconds to make it obvious to show it. I think 1 second is enough, and also this again I'm changing it to 3 seconds. Like after how many seconds I'm navigating to the home screen. This code is written from the previous application also, like quiz application. So after 3 seconds, it will navigate to the next home screen. So let us restart and check again. In 1 second, it showed the animation, and then after 2 more seconds, it came to the home screen. So first thing, we need to mention the routes, all the routes. So I will just copy the route over here, and okay, I will paste the splash. I have pasted the splash route, and I will just rename the routes and will change the screens inside that. So instead of splash route, the first thing I need to have the explore route. Sorry, I shouldn't have renamed it. I need to. I refactored it. So when we do refactor by pressing F2 or by clicking right click and this thing, not yeah, refactor or rename from here. So it will rename all the references to it. So I will just change this, select these two, and will change the route, the name, explore route. This also we need to change, explore, and this will be explore screen. Then we have product route. Then we have the cart and checkout. I'm just quickly changing all of this. After checkout, we have order history, wishlist, and notification. So I need to first create the route path and route names for this. I'm just copying this to have the reference over here. Because I copied this file, so we have some unnecessary routes over here. Notifications we already have in the beginning the system. We'll just copy this and in the route name, I will just remove the slashes over here. Okay, so now my errors for this route path and route names are gone. Now I need to create the screens for this. I mistakenly removed this account path also. So I will just rename this to be something else for now. Like I'm just naming it as home for now. Let's change. I will change that later on to something meaningful. So we need to create some screens. First of all, I will create a presentation folder. Inside that, I will have screens folder. And inside this screens folder, I want to have mm, those screens like explore screen dot dart, product screen dot dart, card screen dot dart, checkout screen. wish list. Okay. For every screen, I also need to create, like this is only the file created. I need to create the class as well. Card screen. This is SCF. What I'm typing. This one is a snippet created by me in my VS Code. We can create snippets in VS Code. It's nothing, just a sample snippet created. We can also write this manually. Okay. Now I need to import all the classes. Okay, order history screen I missed. Let me go to this and create a new file. Okay, so all the classes are imported, and if you can see this, there are no errors in our this file or in our project. So now we need to run the command again. I will go to the terminal and we'll run dart run build runner build again. So it's completed. Now I'm restarting this. There is no changes in the screen because we only created the routes. And now let's okay. Now let's build the home screen. Now our main part comes. Let's come to this design thing, and so we have a banner over here. Sorry, give me 1 second. I need to mute my. Sorry for the issue. Uh, if we split like whenever we are creating any design, first of all, which I already said in the previous sessions also, that we should split the think of the screen design by splitting this in parts. Like the first thing we have is app bar, then we have a banner, and this will be, I think, slider kind of thing. Then we have a header kind of thing here, shop by category, and my mouse is visible here. No? Let me zoom it up. Yeah. So this is a scroll like list view, which is horizontal instead of vertical. This will scroll sideways. Then we have again a same thing, a header, and then we have uh, scrollable list view, which is horizontal. Then maybe because it's a home screen, we can have any number of things here, like scrollable, many lists over here, which are scrollable. Then if we click on this screen, it will go to this product screen, or we can also have, like, if you click on explore, we can go to this search and filter screen, where uh, on the basis of search and filter, or on the basis of category clicked, it will automatically set the filter over here and will show the results accordingly. So let us start this. So before this coding this, I will go to pub.dev again, and there's a very useful library uh, for icons. There's one called remix icons. There are many, but one which I have used, I will show that. I think this is the one, Flutter remix. So this provides a very good library of icons. The default icons provided in Flutter, they are not much, and also uh, they're not kind of sleek icons. It provides sleek icons, thin and sleek icons. So I will just add it to my project. I will do the get packages. Now we will go to the home screen and we'll start this. So first of all, we had the app bar. In the app bar, there's no title over here. There is this thing. The first, this left part is called as leading. Like most of the app, widgets which are built in the Flutter, provided by Flutter, their naming is kind of like this. Left one is leading, then the middle part is known as title, and then the right part is known as trailing or actions. So we also, when we create any custom widget, we try to name things like that similarly. But we already have created this app by the Flutter. I will just provide the leading over here. So if we want to provide something from Flutter Remix, the usage we can see here, that inside this icon widget only, we need to provide icons dot, instead of icons dot the icon name, we need to write Flutter Remix dot search, like Flutter Remix dot icon name. Let me zoom this. Inside we need to use icon widget only, but instead of icons dot the icon name, we will use Flutter Remix dot icon name. So this is a logo of the, like, application or the company, I guess. So we don't have any logo right now. For now, I'm just putting some sample icon over here. Flutter Remix dot. Maybe we can use the Flutter logo over here, like this. Yeah, this looks good. So, and for the actions, we will have, we can pass a list of action widgets here. We need to pass the cart icon. So suppose we can have, let's have two buttons over here. The first one maybe for cart and the next for the notifications. I will have material button and the child. So child won't be text, sorry. This won't be text, this will be icon. Again, Flutter Remix dot cart. Maybe it will be with the name of shopping bag. Instead of two, let's for these kind of things, we need to, if we don't have icons provided by our designers, so we need to, like, check whatever we have options and whatever fits for our design. So this is almost similar to this one. So let's go with this. And Then we have another button. We want to have, it's not in the design, but I'm just keeping it. Okay, when we are having this icon, we can have icon button instead of material button. Here, just the changes instead of child parameter, the name is icon parameter. So, what's the difference? Like, if we see this is a material button, this one, this right one. Let me change the icon notification. Yeah. So this is a material button. This has a min width, default width. We can also change the default width from here like this. We can pass the min width as suppose 30. So it will be almost be similar. Like and also this splash also we can make it to circular like we have this for the card button. But we already get the icon button default. So why to do those changes manually when we can have simply change the widget over here. Okay, so now we need to pass the like do the routing over here. For the shopping bag, we have the cart. I'm just adding the comment over before this, like this is the cart button and this is the notification button. Okay, there's one more thing over this. If you see, there is a badge kind of thing which says three. Like this means for this cart, this means that we have three items in our cart. And for the similarly for the notifications also we can have like there are two unread notifications. Those kind of things we can provide using a widget called badge. There's like we can any widget which I'm using the default widget we can also do create manually, but we already have those created by Flutter. So I will wrap the icon widget over here with the badge widget, and then I need to pass the label. So in the label accepts any widget. I can pass text or anything, uh, icon, anything, but mostly it will be text. Right now also I'm passing the text as 3. So I'm not sure if this is visible. Let me rotate this and show. Yeah, I'm rotating it back. Okay. So the same thing I can have for this one, notifications. So generally we will have this from an API or local storage, whatever external storage we are using. So from there we will get the whatever the like number of unread notifications are or the number of what we say uh, items in the cart. So based on the condition also we can show this badge widget. Like if you don't want to show, we can add a ternary operator over here to just check if 100 like this 100 count is less than 1 or equals to 0, whatever condition we have. On the basis of that we can just do it like this. So for now we are just making it static, this one. So let's continue with this. And for the card button, we want to go to the card screen. So I will just add to the routing over here like card route dot push and then pass the context over here. Simply this thing for the routing. And because this is a one-liner, we can use instead of this arrow uh, function over here, like this bracket body, we can have the arrow function. So for that, let me cut this part. we will have something like this and we'll call whatever we need. So I need to call this cart route.push. For this one also, I want to go to the notification screen. Notification route.push. Notifications route is named. So let us check if it is going or not. We don't have anything in those screens created, so I will just go there and create an app bar over here. App bar. So not app bar theme, need app bar. We need to remove the const, then title, text, card screen. The same thing I will apply to the notification screen. Okay, if I go to card screen, goes here. If I click on notification button, it goes to the notification screen. Okay, so the app bar is done. Now we have the slider over here. So for slider, we have a widget uh, which is carousel view. This one. We have multiple named constructors for this. So sorry, not multiple. We have one named constructor for this, which is carousel view dot weighted, uh, which I also haven't used this till now. But have one thing as carousel view, the plain constructor. This is a new widget introduced like around 1 month back in Flutter. So previously we used to have a Flutter package called carousel slider. So now it is included in the Flutter library only. So here we need to pass a list of widgets in the children, and the item extent is the uh, how much extent it should go, one item, each item. So for now, let's give a random number and we'll check this how to change. It's giving error because we are inside the single child scroll view. I'm removing this for now. We'll add it later on when uh, we need to have that, but let's continue without this. Okay, it's still giving me error. I think I need to give the height over here. Let us wrap with the size box. Height to be 200. This should fix the issue. Okay, this is correct. We are not getting an error. Now let us pass the children over here. So for the children, let me get some images. I will search on uh, for stock footages, images, product. I will just copy the link of few images over here. Copy image address. I'm just creating a variable for the image list. Product image list. Final variable. Inside that, I will add the image links. So I will add a few. This is enough for now. Let's use this list now, product image list, or instead of product, I will add it as add images, advertisement, advertisement images. This is a good name. So now I will, instead of creating all the children repeated, I will just create a map over, like, I will create the list, generate the list like this, list.generate, here advertisement images dot length, and in the generator I need to provide this. Okay, this is saying that we can't accept the list of dynamic. If you see the error over here, 1 second, return. Oh, this is giving the error due to const. So now we have image.network, and in the URL I will need to pass advertisement images and the index over here. The index we are getting in this one. So now if you see, we have the products here. This is not looking great because of the uh, aspect ratio, but let's try to make it whatever we can for this. Suppose I I can pass the fit property. So box fit dot cover. So it will make the same size for everyone. The image will be cropped a bit, but it's looking better. So we have few parameters over here. This is the children we passed for all the images. Now we have few more parameters in the carousel view. The item extent is this thing height. Or 1 second, let me change it and confirm. Oh no, this is the main axis thing. It's already written over here, I think. Yeah. So because the carousel view is for the horizontal, so the main axis for carousel view is this one, horizontal, and this item extent is for the width of, like, the main axis height. If I can also change the main axis, I think. I'm not sure, but let me check. No, we don't have that. Okay. So this comes to an interesting point. Like, if we want something to rotate any widget, but we don't have the option to rotate it in the widget, we don't have any parameter. We have some other widgets using that we can rotate. So we have a rotated box which has quarter turns, and I can provide it like 1 or 2. It is not rotating the complete widget, but okay, it is rotating. So if I provide the height, because we have tapped it with a height, if you see, it is rotating. We have many more things in the UI to do. Like, instead of rotated box, we also have matrix 4 over here. Matrix 4, and there are many constructors, named constructors from here, like skew, x, y, translation. These are the things to, like, suppose this is a canvas and we are painting things, or this is a Cartesian graph which we use in math. So we can do anything using, we can control every pixels over here in the screen. So there are many, like, if I use skew, let me show an example. We can have many things, like Using the matrix 4, I can transform this widget in any way. So, okay, this will not take the child directly. These are where like we can do the changes like this. So I will add one more gist for file over in the repository for this kind of things after our sessions are completed. So UI building UI is a very long topic. So I'm not telling everything, but whatever we can cover. So now after this carousel, we can have item extend to be as instead of giving some height over here, we can access like if you remember previously I said that I can have if I want to cover the whole width of some of the screen, I can provide double dot infinity like this. But this won't work in this kind of cases. Or there are cases where this won't work, double dot infinity. Because what this does that whatever width is available, you take that. But the width over here is not known to the carousel view because it's a scrollable thing. Let me show this. If I do double dot infinity, it should give the error. Yes. So this is giving me the error. But I want to have this as a whole width. What should I do? Should I do it like this 400? Try checking with different numbers. But there are many devices which have small screen sizes. Some screens end in this width. Some screens have this much width. So if I want to have the whole width, but I don't have the I can't use the double dot infinity or expanded or any those kind of things. So we have something called media query. What is media query? It is a class which provides us details regarding this UI, like regarding this screen. What is the screen size? What is the depth of the screen aspect ratio? Many things. So let me create a and media query should be used inside this build. So I let me create a variable for that media query equals to because we need to pass context in that. So that's why I'm doing it inside the build. There's no other logic. So I need to write media query dot of context. So if we do write media query dot of context, it will give me an object of media query, and after that I can access these many things. If you can see here, like device pixel ratio, disable animations boolean. This is a boolean. Then we have something called size over here. We have all the things available related to the screen, but let's use the size for now. So instead of writing it in this way, media query dot of context dot size, this is only needed when we want to access many things over here. But the problem in using this, like we can not write this media query, let's write it size because it is returning the size. We are trying to access the size over here. We have a better access like getter for this. We can write size of and pass the context. So this will directly return the size. What is the difference? Instead of writing off context and dot size, we are writing size of so that it only changes the because here we also need to consider whenever we are writing some code, it should be performance like it should not degrade the performance too much. So when we write size of, it only rebuilds the widget and what do I mean by performance? The mainly performance thing is related to the UI because we are focusing on UI. It's mainly related to the rebuild of this build method. So how many times we are building the whole widget or a partial widget. So that is the main parameter for keeping the performance in our mind. So when we do size of, it will only rebuild this home screen when the size changes. Inside the media query parameter, the size changes. Why will the size change? Because we are not working with a single platform which is mobile. It can be website also where we can change, or here also we can change the orientation in the mobile also. So those are the things in which cases the size can change. So if I access the size, and if we get the size, we can get the width and height inside that. So I will use the width over here. So now whatever maybe the width is, it will take the whole screen, whole width. If I make it rotate it, still it will take the whole width. The image is not looking good here because the images are not built for that aspect ratio. Like it is 16:9, I guess, this aspect ratio, or something around that. Okay. So now this is done. The next thing we have is this one, shop by category and curated for you, those lists. So first of all, I need to create a header, which is, this is a row where we have the main axis alignment and space between, and then this list view. So this is not new, something new. So I will just do the implementation. And it's a very good practice to have this kind of comments in between, so that whenever another developer or even we come back to this, we can find widgets easily, or the parts of the widgets easily. So we will have a row children, and in the first of all main axis alignment I will change to space between, so that the widgets are separated from between. So the first widget is text shop by category, and the next widget is button. So that is a text button. If we see, it's there's no it is kind of text button. So we all also have a text button widget in Flutter. Child will be text only, and view all. Sorry, it is see all. So this header is done. Now we have the list view. So for having the list view, we need to have a sized box. First of all, the height maybe 160, and then the child is a list view dot builder. This is nothing new, so that's why I'm going a bit fast for this. So this is if we divide each item, if we analyze each item, what is it? One second. Okay, we can also open the image. Let me save this image so that I can. Okay. So if we analyze this one, it is nothing but a column. The below text, the below widget is text, and the above one is a circular image. So for that, okay, it's not reloading. I need to stop and run again. Till that time, I will do the code here. So it needs to be a column. Because we are not having the API or something over here, let me create sample data. Like for the category, we need a list of category. One category will contain an image and the name of the category. So for that, we can also create a model class. So let me create the folders for that. I will create domain. Inside that, there will be a models folder. And inside models folder, I need to have a category model dot dot, which will contain a freezed class. Uh, right now, I'm having. Let me create a simple class instead of freezed. I will replace it tomorrow before the tomorrow session. You'll have the name and the image, and we'll create the constructor over here. Also, let me create the like data source for it. Instead of calling the API, I will just return the sample data from there for now. So data folder, and inside that we will have not a folder. I want to have product data source. This naming completely depends on us. It's not something rule kind of thing, but it's we just need to note that it's a snake case, like everything in lowercase and underscore between. So here we will have a class product data source, or let me create a category data source as different data source instead of combining the both. It will return future list of category model. I'm creating just a function of get all categories. Asynchronous function, and then here we need to return the list. So right now I'm just returning a sample like dummy list. Uh, Razak, can you please help me create the fake using some fake JSON generator websites? Can you create the JSONs for this category, product, category and product with these fields?
Okay, or else I can provide you one API for the category list.
Is it does it need the authentication token or without that?
No, not indication.
Okay, sure. Please provide.
Let me share you in the chat section.
Sure. Or API, because I wanted to implement this without the API for today.
Okay.
Just focus on the design part. If you can just copy using the API, just copy and paste the data from there.
Okay, sure.
Sure. So now my list view is coming like this. I don't want a vertical list view. I want it to be a horizontal. So I need to provide a scroll direction as axis dot horizontal like this. And let me change it to something, some meaningful thing. So we don't have any gap. We can have a separate list view dot separator instead of builder. There we need to pass item builder as well as the separator builder. What does the separator builder does? Like after every item builder, after every item, it like generates the separator widget. So we can also have the padding and margin over here, but we can also do like this separator builder. Here I can pass sized box, not height. I need the width to separate it this way horizontally. So this is now separated. I can also have done with the padding widget over here, but this is better. Now we have circle avatar. We have a widget for circular image showing the circular like we can do this by having a container. This one having we can have a container, and inside the decoration we can pass decorated box. There we can pass two fields. One is shape, which will be box shape dot circle, and in the child or in the image part of the decoration we can pass the image. But we have a easy solution over here. We already have the widget as circle avatar. So here we will need to pass the radius. There's a default radius also here, but we can pass our own. Let me try with 30. Yeah, this is good. Now I need to pass the image, background image. So for background image, have need to, I need to pass the network image because it is taking image provider. It's not taking a widget, so that's why I can't do image.network thing. I need to have a network image. This is a image provider. Similarly, for the asset, as we have the widget known as image.asset, the provider image provider for that is asset image, like this one. Because we have provided an empty string, it will give some warnings kind of thing in the debug console, but we'll replace that in a minute. So we have few more things over here. This is not looking good. We need some padding over here. And I want to have the padding in all the widgets from left and right, the horizontal padding. So let us have it in the outside in the column itself. And also I want this to be scrollable. So let me wrap it with the single child scroll view. And instead of wrapping this again with the padding, uh, I also have the parameter of padding in the single child scroll view. So I'll just use that. Similarly, in the container, as we have in the container, we have that in the single child scroll view also, this padding parameter. Here I will pass from horizontal as push 20 or maybe 16. Okay, it is better now. Now we have the same thing for this one, curated for you. So this also has the same header kind of thing, and then the list view. So if we focus on this part, uh, this thing and this thing, they both are exactly similar thing. Like we can have common widget for that. So let us extract this widget. Extract widget. I can click on this row, this bulb button. This is available in both in VS Code and Android Studio. I will click on this extract widget. So it will create a new widget, stateless widget, and will in the build method it will return this row widget. So for the new widget, I am naming. I need to provide the name over here. So let me name it as header or primary header, because we can have multiple common widgets like primary header, secondary header. Let us name it as primary header for now, and it won't take these parameters on its own. I need to change it manually. I'm just taking two parameters as first one is string to show the label, this one, and the second one I need to have take the function from here, void function, and the name of the function like um, on pressed. I can name it better, much more better, like on pressed of see all, or I can also take the list of action widgets and pass it directly here instead of taking only the on pressed. But just to keep it simple, I'm doing only taking the label and on pressed. Right now, I only want to have one action button over here. You need to make the changes in constructor. Required this dot label and on pressed. So I will pass the title over here. Sorry, label, which is shop by category, and then on pressed will be a function. So now I can just use this widget instead of copying the whole copy paste the whole widget. I made it a reusable widget, and after this list view, I can again use this one, and it will be curated for you. Razak, you have provided me the freezed class for that. I need the JSON which contains the data. Or are you sending that?
Sending. Just one
Okay,
minute.
okay, okay,
Sending.
okay. So after this, okay, why there is a gap so much? Because we have provided the height of 160 in the size box above the list view. But in the list view, if you see, we have only uh, circle avatar and text, which won't take 160 because this radius is 30. So if the radius is 30, it will take 60 height for the circle avatar, and then the text will take something around 20 or 22. So I will just reduce it to 60. So 60 is not enough. 80. This is good. Let me have it as 90. Yeah. So after this primary header for curated for you, okay, one more thing I need to change here. It's not kind of header label, but it's not looking good over here. So I will change the text text style for this label. This is a benefit when we are using reusable widgets. If I change it for one of the widget, like only in the common widget, it will change for both. And if we want to have separation, like whatever the widget is, we are creating it wherever we are using. From there, we want to change the things. Like if you want to make this one bold but not this one, we can make it as a parameter and take that one from the parameter. And we can also provide a default value for that. I will provide a font weight for this to be, let me try with 700, and a size. No, 20 is, it's too big. 700 is also too much bold. I think this looks better. And also I want some gap before this primary, the next section. There isn't much, but let me check. Okay. Now again, I want to have the list view over here, the below section. For that, I'm not creating the reusable widget. I will just copy paste for now because there will be many changes. The inside widgets are also not same, and so copied it, and now I need to change the contents over here. So this will be a for this I'm creating a separate widget called like product item or product list item, like that. So for that, let me go to the and create a new folder for that. Inside the home, we have this presentation, and inside that we have screens. So let us create a folder called widgets, where we can keep our common widgets. And inside widgets, I will create a file for product item, product list item. A stateless widget with product list item. Sorry, not scaffold, because this is not a screen. It's just a simple widget where we'll have column children, and inside this we have an image, then some like information related to this, like the brand name, ratings, reviews, name, uh, MRP price, sorry, discounted price, and the MRP. So this will be like we have a column, then we have an image. This is a stack because we have a like button over here. Then we have a row, three rows over here. This is one row, this is another row, this is another row. So let us do that. First of all, we have the stack, then uh, brand row. I'm just giving the comment to divide, separate brand row. Then we have the title row. Then we have price row. First of all, I have the stack which will contain the image dot network. For that, I will create a product model and will take directly the product model in this product list item. For now, I have this image dot network and then uh, the like button. We have not created the like button yet, but we'll create. Then we have the row. Instead, we have children. Okay. Again, a row and children. So we have 3 rows over here and 1 stack. So for like button, let me copy it from another project. I will just explain how it works. Okay, we have a toggle button over here. I will just copy this. I will create a new file for this as toggle button dart. We'll paste the code here. So how does this works? This is nothing but a common widget. Instead of stateless widget, I have created a hook widget. Sorry, instead of stateful widget, I have created a hook widget. And then in the build method, we are taking some parameters for like value. It is toggled on or off. It can be any kind of widget. It can be because I am taking the icon from. Yeah, we are taking the icon also from the in the constructor, the active icon and is inactive icon, and then we have this value which will, if we have true in this like if we pass true in the toggle button, inside this toggle button, if we pass true to this value, we will show this active icon. Otherwise we will show this inactive icon. And then we have like color, builder, and fixed size and on pressed other parameters. Builder is nothing but like it will in, this is a default widget. If we want to create some UI, create the UI differently but reuse this logic, I can pass this builder parameter. It will take a function which will, inside that also we are in the parameter of that function also we are passing another function, and the outer function will return a widget because we are returning that inside this build method. So even if you don't understand this one, that's fine, because uh, I have copied this from another project of mine. You can understand if you spend some time, you can try to get this one. Then we have a function over here which is on like. Like suppose when we click on the toggle button, like suppose what I want to create here is this kind of widget. If we press on it, we change the icon over here. So this can be toggle switch also, like when we have uh, dark mode and light mode kind of widget. When we click on it, the icon changes and also the work is done. So first, before I have named it as a like button, that's why it is on like. Let me rename it to on toggle. This is a better name. So when we click on this button, I'm calling this on toggle. And what is this function doing? It's just changing the value of is on. What is on? It is nothing but a use state. It is a state, and the default value is provided whatever value we are getting from the parent. Then we are changing the value on toggle. We are changing the value and calling the on pressed. So we may have some other functionality on, because we don't need only to change the UI. This is for changing the UI on the basis of this is on. I'm showing the is active icon or inactive icon, but we can also have other functionality, like when we click on like button, it should go to the user's database, like it should do a API call. Or if it is a dark mode and light mode switcher button, so that should do the theme switch. So for that, I'm just calling the on pressed, that it is pressed, do whatever function you are providing, it should call, it should perform that. And if value, okay, here in the on pressed, I'm also taking a value in return. If the value is false, I'm again switching it to back. Suppose if you have tried in LinkedIn or in Facebook, anywhere, if you have tried to like a post or do any operation, yeah, if you try to like a post and the API call fails, so we shouldn't show the toggled, like the change one, like button. We should disable that again back to normal. So for that, I'm just reverting it. If there's a failure, I'm returning false from in the on pressed, and using that, I'm again changing it to the false value, like whatever the previously it was. So let's use that toggle button. The default value I'm providing false. Active icon to be as icon. Flutter remix dot Flutter remix dot. Maybe it will be a heart. Let me check if there is a like button or not. There is not. Heart too. And inactive icon will be. It will also be an icon. Flutter remix dot. So for the active icon, I will do a fill. Use the fill icon. And for the inactive, it's just a line. Like what do I mean by line? It is just a outline button, like this. It is an outline button, and when I click on this, it should fill the color. So for the brand, let and in the row I need to add a text, then this rating, and then the reviews. A sized box. Because we are not using this widget product list item inside the list view, we are not able to see the changes over here. Let me change it, return this product list item. It's giving error because we have no image over here. I will just copy one image from here. Okay, the height is not correct. I need to change the height over here. I'm giving it as 220. Sorry, not this one. Yeah, this one. 1 second. Oh, I changed for the this category one. I need to make change the height of this image also to fit. Okay. So the toggle button is not looking good over here. Let me first of all change the icon. Oh, not this one. Inactive one because the value is false. This icon is good, but I also need a background over it. But we don't have the background here. Um okay, yeah, we have. We need to pass the color. Colors dot gray. So this is too dark, so I can also pass shade of like what shade of this I want. Or I can also do it like this is one way. I'm sorry. This is one way to reduce the opacity, or there is one more way to do it like this with opacity. Right now it's deprecated. It's just deprecated in the latest version. It is with values. So I can pass the values for the opacity or and other parameters. So let me check. Maybe 200 or 300. Also, this is coming in the left side. I want it to in the right side. So I will wrap it with a position widget, which we already used in the previous session. And from the right, I want to give 10. And from the top, I want to give 10. From the right and from the top. So now if I click on this, you can see that it changes. There's one issue here that whenever we are changing it like this, it's not retaining it. I will tell you the reason uh, maybe in the next class, because when we when we are trying to scroll it and the first widget is not there, so what happens is first of all let me use different images so that it is clear. I will take the index first of all. Yes. So when we scroll a list now, so then what happens is whatever is not visible in the screen, inside the screen, that gets disposed and gets recreated when we scroll it back. This is a functionality of listview.builder or whatever builder we are using. It is to save the memory and reuse the like. It's related to the performance. It optimizes the performance like significantly. So, but it comes with some cons that it won't retain it directly because I'm passing the value over here false to everyone. When it's rebuilt, it will just take the false one again. So that's why it's not not retained. So let's ignore that for now. When we make it dynamic, sorry, I need to drink some water. Give me a minute. Okay. Uh, what was it? Okay. Yeah. So when we will make this dynamic, it will work correctly because we will be changing the value over here. Now this row needs to have we have columns. So for the column, we need to make the cross axis to be start so that the row starts from. It's not dependent on the column here. It's mainly dependent on this main row. So, okay, because rows main axis size is uh, it's not affecting, so I need to change the column cross axis alignment to be start. Now I need to change the color for this star. Maybe colors dot amber. I'm just changing the styling to match the design. If we don't want to use the whatever color we are getting in colors dot the name, we can also hover on this color box and we can change it from here, the pointer. So I want to make it a bit darker. And also if you click on this top bar, it will change the type of value. It will keep the same value for color, but it will change the format. I can make it in the hex code because it is shorter. Let's make the brand name as a bit bolder. Font weight dot. I'm using the 500. Not much change. Maybe 600 will be good. This is better. Also, there's some gap in uh, below this image, so let us have that after this tag. And then we have some border radius in the image. If you see this part, there's a border radius over here. So in the image, I need to provide uh, if if we don't have any parameter for the border radius like we have it in the container, then we can wrap it because in the image widget I am not finding the parameter for giving the radius. If we don't have radius parameter, then we can simply wrap it with a widget. We can also do it with container, but container we shouldn't use when we can have another widgets. So we have clip r rect, clip r and then again rect, not clip rect. So here we can pass the border radius. It is mainly used to provide the border radius one. Border radius dot circular, and I will provide it to be 12. If you can see the change, if I do it 0, it was sharp, and if I change it to 12, it is now better. Now we have this section remaining. I'm just giving dummy text over here. So if you see here, it is taking, if my width is too much, it will just continue taking the width over here, but I want to restrict. So what's the way for that? We need to provide the width over here. Uh, this is the item builder. It will take as much width as possible, whatever its child is. So if we want to restrict, we will just use the size box. Width to be suppose 200. Okay. Now, or we can make it. We can use the media query also to give like 70% of the screen size, the screen width, or I think this is kind of more than 50%, like around 60%. We can also do that. Let's try that way only. We'll just copy this variable, size variable, from the home screen and we'll paste it in the product list item. And here from the size, I will just use 60% of the size. Size dot width into 0.6. Okay. Now this is better. And for this text, if you see here, there is an overflow issue. For that, we need to wrap it with the expanded. In the row, we need to wrap it with the expanded. Now it's a bottom overflow. We need to increase the height of the list. This is 260. For now, I'm keeping it 300. 300 is good because it's not scrolling. I'm just adding a like just a sized box with a height of 300 just to see the how it appears, this behavior. Okay. Now I don't want it to restrict in a one line because one line with this much width is very less. So I will just keep it it to be two lines. If I write more characters over here, it will take too much size, but I can restrict it to first. 1 second, let me increase this. So it will take, it is taking whatever lines it needs to fit, but I can provide the max lines over here to be 2. If I want it to be 1, then I can provide like this. I think 1 is good. So we have this dot 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 over here because it's not completed here. So to uh, achieve that, we have a overflow property in the text where we can provide text overflow dot ellipsis. We have more enum over here, enum values. Ellipsis provides that this one triple dots. We have like clip, ellipsis, fade, and visible. Visible will be nothing but the default what we have. This and visible will be same. If you do clip, um, it is also similar. It is in the, if you see, there's no difference visually, but if we there's some logical changes, but visually it's very similar. if we do fade, then it will fade the last few characters. It's not much visible over here because this, it is just fading up partially this bottom part here. Okay. Also, if we make this like rotate this screen, it is not looking good. So there are few things we need to change, and we need to check both like we need to change the values whatever we have put for the height and width, all those things, to make it when we see that it's looking good for both the horizontal and vertical, then it's good. And also, if we want to have different layouts, for this one I want to have a layout, this kind of layout, but for this rotated one, for horizontal screen, when we rotate the phone, we want to have a separate UI layout. What do I mean by layout? I mean this one. That first of all, in this layout, I have put the carousel view. Then I have this list view. Then I have again a list view. Then in the bottom, we can have few more things. So if I want to change the layout, I don't want this layout to be a carousel view, then again list two list view in the horizontal list views. Then we have something as orientation builder. Inside this, I can do for directly before or scaffold also I can wrap. If you want to also have the changes for this apper and all those things, other things. But if I want to have only change the body part, then we can wrap it with the not the widget. I will use the wrap with builder, and I will wrap it with a orientation builder. I will just remove this context to get the correct one. So this will give me the orientation. If I print this here, it will rebuild this. Whatever builder, whenever we use a builder, what it does, this build method is not called again, but this inside the builder, if the values, these values changes, if the orientation changes or the context changes, this won't change. It is a static thing, but orientation can change. So when it changes, it will build this one again. Similarly to what when we change something inside the for the build, it changes this one. Uh, it rebuilds this one. For this one, orientation changes. It will rebuild this part. So if I print the orientation over here, so if I let me print it by doing toString. There's some error we missed. So here we have orientation.portrait. If we change this one, we can see orientation.landscape. This is in the landscape mode. So we can change the layout according to this. So if you have seen in the tab, like this is not only for the uh, mobile phones, this Flutter is also for the tablets. So there we used to have this uh, sidebar. Instead of bottom navigation, we have sidebar. So one second. So on the basis of this orientation, we can return it like this. Return, or we can have the switch statement over here, orientation, and this will be orientation dot, sorry, orientation dot portrait. And we can return this one directly, return the switch case. Okay, sorry. When we return a switch case, instead of doing it as this writing this case thing, we just simply do it like this. We remove the case. This is just a syntax change. And we also don't need the break statements. We just need to have a comma. And because this is a return, I'm using the. Razak, is there any background noise from my side? Hello, Razak, can you hear me? Hello, am I audible? Tanmay sir or Razak, please.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, okay, thank you. So here we can just return the widgets. Like suppose for this landscape, I want to return. For now, I am just returning a container, and I will show uh, this is in landscape mode. And suppose for the portrait one, I want to return this. And I can also extract this instead of doing it, returning everything inside this. I can also extract this to be another widget or another like a method. I can also create a method over here like this. Sorry, not function. Portrait home home screen like this, and this will return a widget. And here I can also use the arrow function and this return this thing. So we are not getting the size over here. We can take it in the parameter like this, and we can just call the portrait home screen and pass the size. So now if we change it to the landscape, what should it show? It should show this one, this text. Change it. This is landscape mode. And here we can create any layout which we want for the landscape mode. We also have a layout builder along with this orientation builder. We also have a layout builder that is used. These things are used. This media query layout builder, orientation builder. These things are used to build responsive UIs, responsive UI. So layout builder, I would not explain now. You can check that, and if you have any query, we can discuss that in the next class. It is nothing but it will provide me a, let me just show by wrapping the layout builder. So layout builder. Here I am getting the constraints. What is constraints? It will give me the width and height details about the screen, and according to that, I can change the layouts. So if we see the responsive websites, the layout changes. If you have the idea about building the UI for the website, responsive UI, we what we do, we get the constraints width, and then according to the width, we change the layouts. For this width, we will show this layout. Whatever we did with the portrait like orientation, similarly for the constraints also, we check the constraints like width, mainly with the width thing, and then change the layout according to that. Similarly to the orientation builder. So right now I'm removing this one. You can try the layout builder on your own also, using the checking the width, whatever width is, using the if and else, we can return other values. And also for now, I should return this one. The same thing for the landscape. I will use the ellipsis over here. And the price row. This is just the two texts over here. So this text is having the strike through. We have seen the decoration thing previously, by using which we provided the underline. Using that only we can provide the uh, strike through. So we have a decor inside the style. We have a decoration. There we can pass text decoration dot line through. I think this is renamed. Maybe in the previous version it was strike through. This is line through right now. So if you can see here, it is striped. Sized box for some gap around 10. And also now need to change the color. Let's play. So now this the color for this decoration is not changed. We need to give that separately. Decoration color. Colors dot gray. Now this is similar. Now, if we want, we can also make this to be full width. Uh, that will crop, but let me show how we can. Because in the other e-commerce projects, there's uh, the images are provided in that way, in that aspect ratio that it should not crop. But for here, we need to, if you change it to cover, and also the width to be.
Mr. Ayush,
Yes, sir.
sorry to interrupt you.
No problem. Yeah.
I'm a bit outside my home. I'm just returning, so in my car. So it will be better if you could close the session when the time is over. I apologize to the participants, and whenever it is over, please kindly close the session, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Okay.
Sure, sir. No problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, participants. Thank you, my colleagues. We'll see you tomorrow again. Bye. Bye.
Okay, so uh, if we change the width over here and the box width, it will take the width, whatever width we have. I provided it to be the same as the item width, which you provided in the top, and made it box width to cover. So if we not provide it, it will just take the full width, but the image will be provide like it will not change. If we provide this box width dot cover, it will change the fit of the image. Uh, okay. So let me change the bottom navigation also. This is not what we need for this project. I will go to bottom nav screen. I will quickly change the items over here. The second will is for explore. Then notification profile. Instead of notification, we can have something else because I provided it in the top. And profile, instead of profile, I'm keeping it account, and I will just change the icon from here. Maybe from the Flutter remix something. Okay, it's not changing because of this part. I'm updating the logic also, and instead of explore route, it will be sorry, account route, it will be explore route. And also, I need to change a bit in the app router because this explore route is inside this bottom navigation. So I need to make it similar to what it was for the home route and account route. If you remember the previous class, uh, we had a small change for these routes, whatever we are using inside the bottom nav. So we are not defining the type go route over here directly. We are defining it inside this stateful branch. So I will just copy this branch and will create a new branch for explore, and also will change the type to be explore route. There's no sub route, so I'm removing these things. And now if I build this one, it will give error because for explore route I have defined it two times inside the branches and one outside. So I need to remove this from here. And to keep the code in the this kind of all the routes in the same place for the bottom nav, I am just keeping it in the bottom. Now I need to build it again. Okay, so this is done. Now let's check it's working or not. Okay. So because we don't have anything in explore screen, showing blank. Maybe I need to change the Flutter search line, and for the active icon I will use it. In the explore screen, I am just giving the app bar so that we can know it's going correct place. So this one won't take too much time. So I will just create the UI for this one also, because this is simply the again the slider part. Then we have this part is nothing but a row, and again a row, and again the text field, text widget, and then inside a row. This is all built using the rows only. This is simple class. So because we have less time now, I will just create the screen in a bit quickly. So first of all, yeah, we will come to the product screen, and here we will have this. We will have an app bar over here. Title will contain the name of the product maybe. For now, I'm keeping it static. This one I can copy from what I had from here, this part. So I will go to the product list item. I will copy this row. And for the slider also, I will try to copy from somewhere. We already have that in the home screen. So I will just copy this part and will paste here. We don't have the size here, so I will also take this one inside this. I will just import it from the home screen because I've kept it in the home screen. I will import it from the home screen. Now there's no way to go to the product screen. So let me apply the on click over this items and go to the product screen. I will go to the list in the home screen, product list, this one, and I will apply a gesture detector over here, or ink will. For now, I'm applying, tapping it with a gesture detector, and on tap, I'm giving the navigation. Later on, we'll change it. Product route.push. Because we don't have any dynamic thing done here, we are not passing anything, but ideally, we will pass the uh, index and the product model from here. We'll see that tomorrow. So now let's check this is working or not. There's no navigation over here. I think I missed the navigation. Okay, I have by mistake I have copied this wrong transition, no transition page. I want to have a slide transition page, which is nothing but we created that uh, a common function for this transition, custom transition. We have already seen that, so I'm not explaining again. Let us go to the product screen back. Now we have the navigation transition. In the product screen, I also need to have the toggle button over here. From the product list item only, I am copying this button, toggle button. So after these widgets, the toggle button is at the end. So for that, I will add a spacer in between, and then the toggle button. Need to remove the const from top. Now we have it. Okay, now the background color is not there for this widget, so I just removed it, and I will. The first thing is I need to change the height for this one, and we need to have padding for other widgets over here. So height will be around maybe from the size I will give not a constant value, size into 0.6 size dot height, because it looks like we don't have the actual Figma over here where we can see the what is the ratio. But let me try this with this one. This is 411 and the whole screen height is 837. So 411 by 837, it's somewhere around 49%. So I will give a 50% height level. So for this kind of sliders, we generally don't have the like this kind of what's the name of this animation transition? I forgot. Parallax kind of animation. So we can change it to page view instead of this carousel view. So let me do that really quick. Page view. Here we don't have item extents. So it will be like this. We can again have a stack for this part here, and can get the current index while scrolling. We have this one here, on page change. In this function, we will get the value of the updated index, and from that we can update this which index it should show, the blue tick one. And if it is not, let me zoom this part. So we can show those many dots, whatever how the list we have, like this one. Uh, with this length, we need to show the container and dots, and then we can update the current selected images, the index of the current selected image. So after this size box, this carousel, let me wrap everything with a separate column so that I can provide the padding for all the things similar. Like if I can show, yeah, this part, if we see, the padding is same for all the widgets. So instead of wrapping all the widgets, all the rows from a separate padding, I will just wrap all the rows with a column and then provide the padding to that. I need a symmetric padding, and horizontal I will provide 60. So because we started a little late today, so let me extend it for 5 or 10 minutes more this session. if that's not a problem for anyone. So after this row, we have, let me name it. We have the name and price again. So this one also I will copy it from that product list item. Here we have the title row and price row. I will just copy both of them. And here max lines I will give us 2 or suppose 3, because this is the details of the product, so this should contain everything. Before the price row, I should give some sized box with a height of let's say 20. It's too much. 12. This is good. And after this, we have um, again 20 and value. After the price row, I'm adding again a size box of height 20. And after that, I will provide the description of this product. I'm copying a dummy text over here. And here, instead of removing the characters over here, or like splitting it or taking substring, it is better to uh, limit the number of lines using the widget. Max lines I can provide it here, like suppose 5 lines or uh, 8 lines. This is too much. I think 6 is better. And for the title also, I'm doing it 2 for now. After the description's style will be changed. So I'm not changing that now. We'll change it later. Then next we have this color and size, and then we have this buttons. So for now we are not having the giving the variety. We'll see tomorrow's session if we have time. We'll try to include, but uh, let's continue without the variety thing. We have a row, and inside that we have 2 buttons, and that is taking equal width. So I will just wrap it using a expanded, both the buttons expanded, and then we have, I will take the material button. Somewhere there is const in the row. Yeah, this one. And the first one is having a row, and then the second one is only having a but text. First one I will wrap with row. and there's a border for this one. So I have a shape property in this material button. I will use that and will provide uh, rectangular. There's some, 1 second. Mm. I forgot the class name, so I'm just searching it in the Google. This, yeah, this one, rounded rectangle border, or there's one more properties. I'll just use this rounded rectangle border. And here I don't need to provide the border radius because it's not, it doesn't have any border radius. It is sharp. We'll just provide the uh, side, border side. Provide the colors dot black. Sorry. Yeah, the shape, and inside this rounded rectangle border, I'm providing the border side. So it will provide the border side. Now the next, and inside that I have used a row, so I will use main axis alignment to be center, so that it's perfectly aligned. And before this row, I need to have some sized box with height of around 20. And I will also provide some size box after this row, so that in the, because it's a scrollable screen, and uh, it comes at the very last, so this is not, this does not feel good while using the application. I'm just creating the second button also. It will be colors.white. Now I need to have some gap in between. For that, again, size box with a width of suppose 8. And now the height is greater than, like, height is around, if I measure, it's around 50. So we have height property over here. Do it 50. And before this row, this height is not enough, so I will try to give around 40. And below this, I'm giving 120. Or maybe 100. Let me change this. I need a bit darker, so yeah. So this screen is also completed design. So let us wrap this session, today's session.